Hello, YouTube. This is Annie, your girl from Medical School Life. And of course, I'm in my robe, even though I'm going to be talking about my transition from Poland back to the US and into van life. I also wanted to introduce the fact that I do a series called Comfy Robe Chronicles. It's a YouTube series where I talk about anything from health to relationships to just having a balanced life. You know, as a future physician, I just want to encourage people to live healthy and live their best life. But let me get into this video about van life. So, the first thing I want to say is this is going to be a huge transition for me. Going from living in an apartment in Poland, to going back to the US, purchasing a van and building it out with no knowledge. Okay, so I am a beginner. But I wanted to take the next, 5 to 10 minutes just to go over what I'm doing to prepare. So as a beginner in van life and as a woman who will be by myself, because I want to do this to finish my rotations, I want to do this while I'm in residency so I can park in the parking lot, go get a break out there, and still go back into the hospital and take care of my patients and be close by. So let me just share some of the things that I did first. The first thing I did was I watched videos on all the do's and the don'ts, and more don'ts than do's. So I would encourage anyone who's starting to do van life or considering van life to please go watch what not to do, how to be inconspicuous, don't draw attention to yourself, don't put yourself in compromising positions, because especially if you're a female, and men get taken advantage of too, so don't want to leave the men out. But just be aware of your surroundings. Before you start this journey, look at security. Look at what you can use to protect yourself. I've already researched little sound things that I can pull off of my keychain that are extremely loud, like high decibels. I'm going to get a couple of those. In my van, I'm thinking about cameras. I'm thinking about a doorbell. I'm thinking about things that will allow me to protect myself. I'm thinking about security in the terms of how I build out my van. And so I just want to show you some of the key things that I did beyond just watching all the be careful videos out there under van life. The other thing you have to realize is you will be alone. You are going to be by yourself. If you don't like being alone, it might not be for you. But for me, after being in med school and after being around people all the time and teachers and students and knowing I'm going to be around patients all day, I will need some alone time. So the first thing I did was I went online and I printed out a copy of a van floor plan. So I want to show this to you. I just printed this out and I started kind of altering this design a little bit because of how I want my van, and I got the measurements so I could figure out what I wanted where and the materials that I wanted to use because I didn't want to add a lot of weight. There's a lot of videos out there that will show you different materials you can use. They will talk to you about the different vans that you can build out, and there's different ways that you can run your electrical. Some people decide they want to go plug into shore power. I don't want to do that. I want to be totally off the grid. I want to use solar if I can, and that's it. I want to have as much solar as I can. I want to have a huge battery bank that continues to get recharged by the solar that I can run, my air conditioner off of, maybe my heater off of. Those are the two main things that I have to consider during this transition. Not charging my phone, because I can do that through, running of the van. Not charging my laptop, because I can turn my van on and charge that too. The two things that you need to consider when entering into van life is how you're going to heat that van and cool that van if you're in a seasonal climate. Okay, you need to research. I'm talking air conditioners. I'm talking heating. If you want to use propane, if you want to use electricity, if you want to use gas, there is a lot out there that you have to consider. So start your research early. Make sure you write notes. If you watch a video, put that video into your favorites. Save it for later because you may have to go back to that. Talk to professionals. Insulation. What type of insulation are you going to use? Just because you watch a video and you see people insulating their van does not mean that's the type of insulation that will withstand all those heat and cold changes. So you have to, and you don't want it to be toxic. You don't want to be enclosed in a van and have your lungs scarred and breathing issues and air quality issues. I'm a future physician. I'm finishing up med school in the next year or two, and you want to make sure that you think about safety and health. Those are my top priorities. I'm not doing any of this until I have figured out those pieces. So that's what I encourage you to do. I am going to do a video on my journey, talking to you about what I've accumulated in terms of my notes and different things like that. I've called companies, I've called electricians, because I don't know that I'm going to be able to do the electrical in my own van. It's nice to think about and save money, but I may need a qualified, licensed electrician just to make sure I don't burn myself up. So the other thing I want to talk to you about is, there's not a lot of square footage, so please go online, start pulling photographs of different vans that you like, where you want your bed. I'm thinking about putting my bed up in the ceiling so I can save room because I want more closet space. Where do you need a bathroom? Are you wanting a kitchen? Are you cooking? If you're not going to cook, then there's no sense in building out a kitchen with a sink and all of this hot water tank and clean water, gray water. There's no sense in doing any of that. But there are different floor plans. The other thing you want to think about is, what type of flooring do you want? Soundproofing is important because you're in a van, and you don't want to hear every little thing. I mean, every little thing. No, you want to sleep. Cars are going by. There's different types of toilets that you can get. Composting toilets. Do you want plumbing, gray water, black water? They call it. And I'm learning. So my thing is, first is safety and health. You're going to have to cool that van and you're going to have to heat that van. That's what you need to learn first, and the electrical. That's where your expenses are going to be. Electrical, solar, depending on how you want to live. So that's my advice to you. This is Annie from Med School Life, making the journey to van life. Making the journey, but I'm going to be an educated van life person. I will not be doing this until I get it all right. So this is my first installment for Annie for Van Life. Stick with me. Subscribe, please subscribe, and make some comments about this video. Please go over to my Comfy Road Chronicle videos, and that will help you maybe get some encouragement you need. People that come on my page are here for support, love, reassurance, knowing that they can do things, that it's okay to step out, it's okay to be afraid, but guess what? At the end of the day, you can overcome your fear, you can step out and live the best life that you want to, and guess what? It's your 24 hours to do with what you want to do. It's your 24 hours, no one else's. No one can live your 24 hours for you. You've got to live your own. And so, yeah, go out, live it to the best. Love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. All right, bye.